In honor of this show being canceled, I'm wearing my Ash vs. Evil Dead shirt. And we're into the top 30 bands. So these are my 30 favorite bands of all time. Let's just get into it. I know it's not a lightning bolt. Stupid book. I know it's not a lightning bolt. I know it's supposed to be a lightning bolt. But AC/DC's number 30. See, AC/DC's funny. I get tired of their songs because I hear them all the time on classic rock stations. And at TradeX, the job I just came from, anytime they're doing setup or teardown, they'd listen to classic rock channels, which meant I got sick to death of 80s music and AC/DC. But there's always an AC/DC song that I really want to listen to. There's always at least one or two that I'm like, you know what, I really want to hear that song. So they're still number 30 for me. Number 29. Beastie Boys. I'm not a huge rap fan. Anybody who knows me knows that. But Beastie Boys, pretty excellent. I got their last album. Just a few weeks ago, actually, I got their last album. Because Make Some Noise is my favorite song of theirs. Make Some Noise is kind of awesome. Intergalactic's pretty excellent too, and so Sabotage, but for me, Make Some Noise was their best song, and then, of course, one of the members of the band dies, and that's it for Beastie Boys, and that's it for me as a fan of the Beastie Boys, I guess. I'm not going to get to see them in concert. Number 28. Hecka, if you're watching, you're going to like this. Nightwish. Finnish band. Excellent band. Keep changing their lead singer every now and then. Now, Nightwish is one of those bands that some people may not be a huge fan of, and I get it. I love symphonic metal, though. Symphonic metal is fun. Now, this is where me counting down my favorite bands is different from my favorite songs. My favorite band may not have a single song that I go, wow, I really love that song. But on the whole, listening to an entire CD from them, listening to an entire song list of theirs, might be tons of fun. Nightwish is like that. I wish I had an Angel, though, is still one of the all-time greats. And Amaranth is still pretty damned awesome, too. Number 27. Bustifer. Maynard. It's really all that needs to be said. There really isn't anything else that needs to be said. Number 26. Every time we get in the van, Adelaide wants to listen to the Dead. She doesn't want to listen to anything else. It's to the point where if we've been listening to them and I'm switching out from it, I'm like, no, not right now. And my answer to that is simply, I don't want to become sick of a band that I really like. I'm really careful about that, and I do my best not to get sick of a band I really like. The Dead's, you know, we saw them, and there's videos on here where I talk about them. I still haven't done the podcast with them yet. Now that the craziness of the hockey season settled down, I'm in a better position to start doing podcasts more regularly and get guests on there. And I absolutely would love to talk to them, especially since the time that's passed from the concert until now, they had a few members that seem to have left the band right before this most recent album, and now it looks like they sometimes come in and play with them. So this is part of having a band that's just starting out and not making enough money that you can just all quit your jobs and do it, is that you'll have other arrangements where you're like, I can't go out on tour right now. So they could end up being a super band at some point where you have two drummers and a few guitarists, and that'd kind of be awesome if they did. But anyways, if you haven't listened to them, I highly recommend them. And if you enjoy supporting smaller independent artists such as yourself, then give them a listen as a musical artist of that same vein. They don't have a major record deal yet, which is kind of criminal. Number 25. Filter would be so much higher if they'd had more albums. Filter would be so much higher if Hey Man Nice Shot had been just the start, just the beginning of some awesomeness. But I don't know, you know, Take a Picture hit, and I was really excited when Take a Picture hit because I thought, good, these guys are going to be big now. But it's like Sometimes when one of your favorite bands gets a big hit, and it's not music that sounds like their other music, it can be to their detriment. Because then people are gonna be like, I gotta go listen to their other stuff. What's this crap? This doesn't sound like that. Where go my airplane? Where go my airplane? Screw this. I'm not listening to these guys. Their music has depth. And Filter definitely has that. Filter's got some fantastic stuff. Welcome to the World is one of the greatest, just fantastic songs. And yet, here they are at 25. 24. I may get to see these guys this summer. There's going to be a big outdoor rock festival thing. The Cult and Bush play the same day, which has me saying, yeah, all right, we can go to that one. And yeah, that would be tremendous fun. 3 Days Grace plays the day after. And so we may go to 2 days of that music festival. We're trying to figure it out. But the Cult, I've always wanted to see them live, and even though it's 30 years past Love Removal Machine, I would still love to hear it live. And Firewoman, and hopefully stuff from the self-titled album. Now, the self-titled album is my favorite. That was with the song Coming Down, Drug Tongue. Black Sun is on that album. There's a lot of really good music on that album, but that album's completely different from what came before or after, so I don't know how much of that we're going to hear on a tour. But The Cult, one of my favorite bands. Just awesome. 23. Australia's In Excess. I'm not a huge fan of their earlier stuff, but I loved their last couple of albums. Crying shame what happened to the lead singer, Michael Hutchence. I mean, it's self-inflicted, right? But not intentional at the same time, and I'm not going to get into it because it's not family-friendly, but hey, you know, Michael Hutchence died like he lived, I guess. Read into that what you will, but In Excess has some fantastic songs. My favorite song of theirs still, well, New Sensation and The Gift are both pretty awesome. Never Tear Us Apart is amazing. There's, I could go on and on. Devil Inside. There are a lot of really good songs from In Excess. And they're a pop-ish band. They're rock/pop for me. They're not one or the other. Really, really good album, though. And by album, I would mean, I'm trying to remember the name now. The one that has The Gift on it is a really amazing album. And yet it did nothing. I'm a jinx. If I hear a new album from a band, I'm like, wow, this is really, really good. It means it's going to flop. It's going to flop or somebody's going to die. I got into Queen. Freddie Mercury died. I said Def Leppard was the greatest. Steve Clark died. I really got into In Excess. Michael Hutchence died. You really don't want me to like your favorite band. So if you don't see your favorite band on the list, go, yes, they're going to live. 22. Oh, man, you show this list to me 30 years ago, and I'd be like, are you serious? 22's not Def Leppard. Def Leppard's the greatest of all time, and I thought they were. I've actually got a Hysteria shirt upstairs. I bought it last year because I had to have my Hysteria shirt back. You know what's funny is that same Hysteria t-shirt, I got teased about that one after they went out. So, Hysteria comes out. Pour Some Sugar on Me, big huge hit. Within 2 years, nobody's listening to Def Leppard anymore except this guy. Not in my school. So Adrenalize came out, and even though it wasn't as good as Hysteria, I still really enjoyed it. I still learned all the lyrics to all the songs and sang along with them. But most people turned against Def Leppard, and it was, oh, they're out. They're not cool. They're out. And they tried to change their sound. Retroactive was an album that was made up of a bunch of B-sides and a bunch of unreleased stuff. Retroactive, honestly, for my money, is probably their best album. And I know that's going to sound weird, but when that album came out, I was like, this is great. Fractured Love and Desert Song are the first two songs on that album. My God, those songs are great. The fact that Fractured Love and Desert Song were both cut from Hysteria shows just how in the zone the band was at that point. And then Slang came out. I thought Slang was fun, but Slang really changed their sound. And there were fans who didn't like it. So while people were like, they need to change their sound, as soon as they did, they're like, hey, don't change that. So Slang didn't do very well commercially, which meant the next album, I believe the next album was Euphoria, sounded a lot like their old stuff, but it's sort of like what AC/DC did when they got older, and how it just sounded like it was a revamp and a retread of earlier stuff. Remember when Big Gun came out, and I'm listening to AC/DC's Big Gun, I'm like, This just sounds like one of their older songs, but not as good. And Def Leppard kind of did that too. And they've been coasting on that for a while, in my eyes. But still, I have them at number 22. I did not try to see them in concert last time around, because I prefer to remember them when they were a rockin', you know, hard rock, hair metal band. I'd rather not see them when they're doing all the acoustics and singing with Taylor Swift and... Taylor Swift singing Pour Some Sugar on Me is an abomination. 21... So ending the countdown here for this portion of it, Tesla. Tesla's not just a car. Tesla was a man. And you want your inventor of electricity and light bulbs and crap. Tesla invented some crap. Not that he gets credit for it, of course. There's a good song about that on one of the Tesla albums called Edison's Medicine. But Tesla, great rock band. I saw them live 13 years ago. And that was at the Commodore in Vancouver, and they were good. And it was an acoustic set, but they still did a couple electric guitar songs. They were pretty good. And honestly, I'm still kind of a fan. And I only say kind of because Great Radio Controversy is their best album. So if you have Spotify, go look up Great Radio Controversy. Listen to that album. That's their best album for me. Mechanical Resonance was the one before that. It was good. Some really good songs in there, but for me, it peaked there. Bust a Nut is pretty good too, but for staying power, to me, it's still Great Radio Controversy. I used to load up Great Radio Controversy and play Metroid. I got tired of the music in Metroid because it's really repetitive and kind of bland. So to this day, if I hear songs from Great Radio Controversy, I want to play Metroid on the original Nintendo. So that's how far back that album goes for me. And again, yeah, I would recommend Great Radio Controversy. I would follow that by Bust a Nut. Bust a Nut's got some pretty damn good songs on it. Action Talks is good. And then Into the Now was good, a little preachy. They have Heaven 9/11, which is... It's a good song, but it's very political. Obviously, 9/11, right after 9/11 happened, they wrote that one. But Tesla's fantastic. So there you go, you're up to my top 20. My top 20 features, there's Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, not. But we'll get to those top 20 soon. Here's 30 through 21. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.